Well, good evening. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online. And we're here tonight for a round 5 match on the winner's side. A match between, well, two players from England for a start, and also two of the very strong contenders to win this event. Good evening. Good evening to Hazad. Race to 19. And that's going to be in about 10 minutes' time. We've got Steve joining us tonight again. He'll be here in about 5 minutes, so I just need to tab out maybe now and again just to check if he's in Discord as and when he appears. The one thing I'll be interested in seeing is how much these guys have been paying attention to any of the other matches that's been going on. In particular, Albinario, who's been hotting up on the one-loss side, and who in his last match was breaking like a demon. And I had a look at Albie's break that night, and he was breaking from his right, our left as we look, fairly close to the rail, and he was getting a ball cross table into the middle pocket, and he was doing it with quite good regularity, which also helped his racks run total, because he shot up the leaderboard well in the lead now. And well, it's going to be that's going to count tonight. Who can break and run? Because in terms of unforced errors, there may well not be that many in this match. Whoever breaks comes up dry, leaves a shot, they're losing the rack. That's pretty much the way it's going to be, because they are too good to be making that many errors, and it is a close one. It's also the possibility that these two guys may well meet again in the final, regardless of what happens here tonight, because obviously something's got to give. Somebody's going to end up in that one-loss side. But who that'll be, we don't know. It's definitely very difficult to call. But I just think we should keep an eye on the break. I think Cobra, if I remember rightly, has been bringing the ball up to the line and breaking from the middle. I might be wrong in that, but and Mal's been trying a couple of different things to get that cue ball to stop in some circumstances rather than running forward. He got that better in his last match, certainly than the first match we'd seen. So there's a few things to keep a close eye on, but certainly unforced errors could be costly in a big way in this match. Right, just give me a sec. A quick look. Yeah, he did say it was going to be 5 minutes before we start, so we're about that away. So let's have a look at the bracket. We have Mr. Bill and Mr. Fox still to arrange their match in one lot. I think the voice has gone already. Goodness me, I've not even started. Wait to get a drink. Mr. Fox and Mr. Bill, they've still to arrange their match. More about that in a minute. We've got Hairpig and Albinario set to play on, now when's that? That's Wednesday night, I think it is. This is Monday the 3rd, isn't it? Yeah. So Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And of course, there's a slight problem with that, I think, in that, oh no, wait a minute, that's fine, I'm forgetting we've got the Spectre Dawn stub match tomorrow night, that's what it is, and then we've got this match tonight, so that pretty much covers what's still to be played. Good evening to anybody else who's out there, not that anybody's saying much. But Bill has had family matters to deal with over the last few days, and the sad news for Bill is his father passed away this morning, or early morning his time, and so Bill will be out of town, or as he has been the last couple of days. He will be arranging various things as you have to do in these circumstances. So we send our wishes to Bill and his family. The point about that though is that obviously this is only VP4. You know, this isn't a major thing in the world. It's a game, but the match is has a deadline of May the 5th. Now, Bill may or may not be back in town at that time, and he may or he may not want to play the match. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain that the other round deadline date is the 9th, so somewhere in between there, regardless of whether this runs over the time, I'm pretty certain the match can be arranged anyway if Bill wants it to go ahead. So that will be sorted out in the near future, and we'll worry about that when it comes. So in the meantime, that's basically why Bill hasn't been around the last couple of days. He sent me a message the other day to let people know he was out of town for that particular reason, and he's now obviously he's lost his dad, and well, I think there's a few have went through this, so we know how things have to get dealt with. But in the meantime, I'm going to tab out and see if I can get Steve. And he's still not appeared. I'll tell you something, he's a bad timekeeper. That's after 5-2. Good evening, Mark. Just waiting on Steve arriving. Table, the cloth colours at the right setting, so we don't have to worry about that. We've already checked that. I'm just going to be tabbing out again just to have a quick look. Just hang on. And get the right button, that is. No, he's still not there. He's keeping us waiting. So, what's going to give tonight? I think it's anybody's guess what the outcome could be in this one. Two red hot players, but the one to keep an eye on is Albanario in that one loss side, because he simply got better as the one loss side has gone on. He's been blitzing people apart, and let's hope he saves some for the final battle to try and get back over to the winner's side. But he's going to have to overcome a few problems in the not too distant future. That's going to happen. Right, another quick look. Well, I make that like 3 minutes to 7, and he's still not showing. And of course, the snooker's on at 7 PM. I've got that on my second monitor with the volume down, so I can keep an eye on what's happening there. I probably won't even see the end of it if it doesn't, if it does go the distance. I'll probably end up being in bed and miss the end of the thing. I think I've missed it the last few years anyway. Another quick look. Nope. So, good evening to Simon. Good evening, Semi-Pro. There are others there, I'm pretty certain, who are sitting there silent. Yeah, Mal's arrived. He's all set to go. Cobra's been in practicing on his own, getting himself set. Well, I just know that you know, we can't be seeing a bad match. You know, these guys are too good to be putting up a bad match. The question is whether Cobra, you know, gets involved in a race at the table. I don't think he will, because Mal obviously likes to play at a certain pace, and whether Cobra's going to start using his shot clock, I don't know. Oh yeah, hang on a minute, guys. Right, guys, just do a sound check here. Steve is in the building. The room is up. They're probably lagged off.
Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, we'll get a response in a sec. Give us a sound check, guys, please. Let us know. Good.
Am I okay?
I think everything looks fine.
All right. Well, Hugh, what do you think of this matchup?
I'm gonna do what most pundits do and sit in the fence. I don't care how sharp it is. I haven't a clue. I mean, I was mentioning earlier there, I don't know whether these guys have watched any of the last stream, particularly the way that Albinario was breaking. He found a break in his last match, breaking from the left side as we look, and he was getting a ball cross table into the left middle pocket as we look, and he was very successful with it. So I don't know how these guys are going to react, whether they're going to stick with what they've got or maybe look for something different, maybe change it up during the match.
Yeah, but, I think I'm gonna actually go out on a limb and pick Mal in this match. I think a lot of it depends on whether he can continue to play in rhythm, but he's been very impressive the way he's been playing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when he's in a closer match, because I think this one's going to be close.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about you know, Mal liking to play at a good pace, and whether Cobra's going to be drawn into that and actually maybe go opposite and start using his shot clock a bit more, just to try and get Mal out of his stride.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing in pool. I think to be a really good player, you have to be able to play in your rhythm, no matter what your opponent does. But obviously, for a fast player and your opponent's slow, that can be challenging sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So Mal's got first chance here. He's just going to have to run through the gap, I think.
Yeah, there's not really any trouble here. He should be out here. He's a little funny on this because he's probably going to want to play the 7 down in the same side there. Yep. And they got a little funny there. I mean, I expect him to pocket this ball, shoot the 8 in the side.
Now then, what does he do? Does he check this up and does he run, or does he check it? No, he's going to run. He's going to go square here, I think. Is he?
Yeah, I hit it good.
Just got there. Well, he's found his weight pretty good early on.
Yeah, see, he's a little high on that, and that's, really what you want to be. I mean, the mistake you don't want to be is overrunning that ball.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Well, Mal's sticking to his guns.
I thought before when I watched the match, he played from the middle of the table.
Well, I'm mixing them up. You see, that's what I was trying to remember at the beginning. Before you joined, I was trying to remember where Cobra was breaking from, and I'm probably confused myself with both players. Cobra was breaking from where the cue ball appears and then moving up to the middle of the line. You might be right. I mean, I can't honestly remember. But we'll see if they change it up though. But there's no need for Mal to change it up at the moment because he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, no trouble here. The 7 to the 8's the only potential issue. He just needs to get on the 7 ball the right way. He's probably going to go forward. That's a little funny.
Just check my doodle's working. Yeah.
It looks like he's going backwards.
Yeah, he's spinning across. Well controlled.
Now well, I mean, that just shows confidence that he can hit that shot. And, I mean, a lot of times the simple guaranteed play like that stop shot on the 7 ball is the best way to go, even if you take a little harder shot for pocketing the ball or for position on the next one.
Mm-hmm. Mal's going opposite side this time.
Yeah, but still just outside the first diamond on the end rail. Similar place, opposite side. Wow. He might be looking at the rack. I mean, I don't know how many players do this, but in real life, it really pays to look at the rack. Because if you understand how the ball's breaking, you look at the rack and you see where the gaps are, you can decide what position on the table you're going to break from, how hard you're going to hit them, and you can greatly increase your chances of success.
Yeah, they don't go in for all of that detail in VP4, I don't think, because I think a lot of them still don't realise that there are gaps in the rack. I mean, I had a close look at one when one of the guys took a bathroom break. We could see where the space was between one ball and another ball, but I don't think these guys would go to that level, but it certainly might be worth looking.
If you're interested in getting better at that, and whether it's real life or virtual pool, the best material I've seen available is Joe Tucker's Racking Secrets. He's got a 1 and a 2. 1 is mostly 9 ball. Very valuable information. I'm not going to say it's the Bible on that subject because there's some other things that he doesn't talk about I know people consider, but it'll give you the basic of how to look at a rack and rate it.
Well, here's Cobra's first chance, really.
Yep, Mal missed the ball. Well, I'm excited about this match because you've got two players that think well. I don't think we're going to see a lot of mistakes in the decision-making process.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you could have asked for a better result there to at least get on the 2.
Yeah, he should be good on this rack.
Semi-Pro done a short video yesterday, race to 7, checking rack out and ran 5. What, 5 in a row?
He probably means 5 out of 7, but either way, that's good. If you can break and run 5 of 7, that's pretty good. Yeah.
This is a little bit a little bit tricky here. Is he going to try and drag the pace off this with that angle, or and try and drop on the short side of the 4 back up past the 6? What do you think he's going to try here? Because it looks pretty tight. He's trying to go around. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have tried to hit that with inside and a little draw and kill it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shot a lot of people don't shoot, but I shoot that a lot in real life, and it's amazing how hard you can hit the cue ball and get it to stop when you're going into a 2-rail corner with inside and draw. The reason I didn't like going the way he went was because of that 9 ball.
Yeah, 9 ball was in there.
He missed the ball, but that 9 ball was big where it was.
Certainly big where it's sitting right now, right over the middle. Now,
it doesn't surprise me that Semi says he was looking at the rack. I mean, he's the kind of player that is going to really try everything he can do to improve. He showed that in straight pull. He showed that with his snooker practice. I mean, he's really taken an approach where I want to get really good at this, and I'm going to do what it takes to figure out how to accomplish that.
Yeah, if you can invest the hours in the practice, you'll get the end result usually.
Yeah, well, it's not just practice; it's study also. He's been willing to go on YouTube, and he's asked me about things, and I told him, go watch this guy, go watch that guy, and that's really one of the great ways to get better is go watch the guys that are great pool players and go watch what they do, and you can learn a tremendous amount. I've probably learned as much doing that as I have talking to people or playing. Oh, this shot, things could go wrong.
He's took the old VP4, the old VP4 bailout shot, the big draw into no man's land. Bound to have a shot on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in some ways that's a smart play because you're not going to mess up the stroke because it's a hard draw stroke like you might in real life, and coming back to the end rail and into the side rail, that's going to check the speed on it, so it's really not a bad play.
Well, Cobra looking for immediate response here to Mal's good start.
Yeah.
Let's see where Cobra breaks from, whether it's going to be the middle and draw up to the line.
Yeah, well, this kind of match, the break's going to be really important.
Nope, he's going left side. That's into Albinario territory there. Now you see this, the 7 ball missed the middle pocket that time. I noticed when I practiced that break this afternoon, and it was the ball from the ball down from the 1 ball. It was the one of the balls in the second row that went cross table into the middle. Only got it once, but that's when it worked. But then again, I wasn't studying the pack. Well, there's a brush. There's another brush. How about this thin cut in the 3? Yep, not a problem. Nice little nudge in the 4 and oh well, yeah. I think he chanced his arm once too many there.
Yeah, he needed to miss that 4 ball, and he probably wasn't trying to hit it.
Yeah.
That's just cause for trouble, and it doesn't look like he got safe.
Oh no, well, that's a weak one.
Yeah, that was definitely an error there. I mean, that was not a hard safety. So the tricky part here is going to be that 6, 7, 8. What do you think he's going to do to get on the 6, Hugh?
Well, let's look at the line he's got. I mean, what would I do in this case? Dead straight, trying. I mean, you could do something crazy and draw into it and take a big risk, like some people would do, and hope you're still on the 5. But this
Yeah,
6 ball,
he may try to get behind it and shoot it down the same corner he just shot
yep,
that last ball.
yep, he's got the little angle to dink this cue ball with a wee bit of spin and hopefully miss the 6.
Or he could hit the 8 ball here. I mean, that's probably what I try to do with the angle he has, is run into the 8 ball. And if he misses it and gets down towards the end rail, he's got a lot of safety options.
Yeah, he could nail the cue ball. Well, he looks like he's going side pocket now.
Yeah, I don't like this play. I would have shot this in the corner and tried to hit the 8. But if he's trying to come down to this end rail, that's not a terrible play because there's a lot of safety options. There's a bank, and that was way under hit. You needed to make sure, if anything, you went too far, not too little.
Right, so he's got to avoid the double kiss here for the cross bank. That's a big ask.
Yeah, I think the cross bank's on, but you're going to have to try to hit the 8. You really need to hit this with a lot of left English and spin it around and try to bump something, because otherwise it's going to be hard shot on the 7. Yeah, he's going to have to shoot the combo.
Now, Craig Liddell's got a question there. I don't know. Is there a place to report bugs? Custom setting on Cowboy Challenge table opens 9-ball settings. I can't set up an alternate shots room.
That actually sounds like it could be a registry problem. I doubt anybody else is having that problem, since that sounds like something that would have been reported, because I think that's a pretty popular thing to do. I think the thing to do is to delete the VP4 folder out of the registry, and it'll recreate it. If you're not sure how to do that, call custom or message support, and they can tell you how to do that safely. You got to be a little careful when you open up the registry editor. You don't want to mess up your system. I mean, anytime anybody does that, if you're going to start deleting things, the smart thing to do is back up the registry first. And one way to do that is just do a system restore point.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you could get...
Looks like that fiasco with the 6 ball is going to cost Cobra.
Yeah.
I think he made some bad choices on how he played that, and that's I mean, I'm getting nitpicky here because was a difficult situation, but I think that's one of those errors in decision making that just cost them the game.
Yeah. Well, your idea, trying to knock the was it the 8 ball out of the way?
Yeah. The thing I liked about that shot, if you hit it perfect, you're great. You're on the 6, the 7 will go in the same pocket now, and if you miss the 8 ball or ticky it and you get off towards the end rail there, you're
big
still got a
bailout.
great spot to play safe or shoot a bank or whatever. So
yeah, could have locked him up.
Whenever you're going on a path where you could be snookered, you're starting to take some chances, and the smart thing to do if you're taking that path is make sure you go long on it, like even go to the end rail and back out. And he did the worst thing he could by coming up short.
Now, Cobra's definitely going to be feeling the pinch here because he's looking at this 3. I presume that's a 3, not the 5.
Yeah, that's the 3.
And he so much wants to play the reverse bank, but look at where the 4 is. I mean, the 4's going to have to be a bank as well if he does that, probably.
Yeah, it's a tough shot to play safe on. I mean, that's just not an easy shot to play safe on. He's trying to play safe, and
yeah, Mal's going to now. Is Mal going to be brave enough to cut this and try and go a bit of inside to nudge over to the 7 and 4, or is he going to try and leave a bank? Is he
I
going?
think cutting this is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, he's going for the hit.
Yeah, the thing is that you could have cut that and just played to get on the 4 and then rolled up and locked them up on the 7. I mean, a lot of times when you get those tough situations, the smart play is to just play for the safety, and that was going to be a very easy safety as long as he got on the right side of the 4 ball. But what he did is working out. I mean, he hit it good. I like the aggressive play that, run into the 7 there as long as you're comfortable doing it. Uh-oh.
He's okay. Well, this is put even more emphasis, even though Mal's odds on to be 4-1 in front, it puts even more emphasis on holding your break, because the match can turn on one break. If it doesn't work for Mal, Cobra can easily get back into it early on. The main thing is, as I mentioned before as well, is that there's no time to panic, because you start taking on things you shouldn't be taking on, you just leave yourself open and vulnerable. Sensible play is required by Cobra at the moment, if he gets a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Panic is never going to help.
Popman's asking a question. Now, this is because Popman is the only person in VP4 that scratches that many times. He's asking. I always wanted to ask, were the scratch physics slightly overdone to promote ball control in VP4?
That's a funny question. No, there's no magic as far as, people say, oh, the computer opponent doesn't scratch and I do, it's rigged, or, there's nothing going on. I mean, the physics doesn't take that into account. The ball goes where it's going to go, just like on a real table.
Now, see, there's a reason for the question there. Because Popman had a bad night last night in the hog pen.
Well, what I will say is it's critical on the break to control the cue ball. And, I think I've said this before on the stream, but in 9-ball, ideally you want to move that cue ball back at least 6 inches. And preferably a diamond. Well, actually, preferably at least to the side pocket. But if you can get it moved back a diamond, that's usually enough, because the balls come around the corner and cross right in front of where the head ball would be. So if you just stop and leave the cue ball there, you're going to have a lot of balls flying into it, and that's how you get those kicks into the side pockets.
There, that's a very quick diagram. Well, that break from Mal was a bit loose. The cue ball was travelling up table.
Yeah, I mean, it's, because the rack's kind of loose in VP4, which we've talked about, I'm going to change that, but not now because we're in the middle of this tournament. The cue ball is a little harder to control, and going to tighten that up a little, and I think Mal's probably pulling it back harder than he normally might, because he doesn't want to leave the ball sitting there in the middle of the table.
Now, what does Cobra do? This 3-ball. That 3-ball goes into the middle if you're really plumb on the 3-ball. It's tight, but it goes. Now, is he going to try and drop this dead weight? No, he's trying to get a nudge. Well,
that worked out. I didn't really like that shot. That was tough. I mean, you've got to hit the 3 ball just right. You know, you hit on the wrong side, it doesn't work. You hit it dead on, it doesn't work. You got to be on that left side, and you know, if you hit it too thin, it doesn't work. But he hit it good and got on it, so kudos to him.
yep. Should be out. I thought you were supposed to be at work, Stub. Well, Cobra can very quickly get rid of this deficit if he can get his break to work.
Yeah, I think, you know, one thing about this format or winter breaks is you still got a chance when you get down a ways. You know, in an alternate break tournament, if you get a big deficit, it's very difficult to come back. Yeah, if you notice how Cobra plays, you know, he plays in a rhythm too. His rhythm's a little different than Mal's. But if you look
Yeah.
at the time it takes to aim and shoot, and, you know, it tends to be fairly consistent, just at a slower pace than Mal's doing. And that's one of the reasons why he plays well.
There's the ball into the left middle pocket there. That's the one that works. The only problem is he's got. Well, is he going to thin this? This is tight.
Yeah, the biggest problem here is making sure you know the path the cue ball is going on. There's some funny things that could happen here, like that 7 ball might be in play.
I don't think I mean, I don't fancy that looking at it. That looks way too thin.
And there's some balls that he can get hooked on with a 3. Well, you know, the safety's not a bad player.
Yeah, nail
Looks
it.
like that's what he's going to do.
Nail it to the 3 if he can.
Yeah. Well, didn't get it stuck on it, but that's good enough to make it tough.
Wow.
I didn't like that play. You know, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there.
Well, genuinely, I think he fancied actually getting lucky and kicking it in. You know.
Yeah, well, if he's trying to kick it in, he missed it by a mile. If he's
Yeah.
trying to kick it on the right side, it looked like it was maybe a little firm for what you wanted to do. I mean, if you kicked it on that, well, I guess it would be the left side from, depending on which end of the table. But if you kicked it so the 2 ball banked off the rail and went over by the 6 and 9, you have a chance to get a snooker. And even if you don't, now the 9 ball's in the way, it makes cut up the rail difficult. So, you know, those kind of shots, what you want to look at is where you can hit the object ball, which side you can hit it on to move it in a way that you can get safe, and what kind of speed you would put on it. And I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He might have been trying to play safe. It wasn't hit very well.
Well, again, that's just a simple case of join the dots. You do that every time you have a table like this. Absolutely no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. I think when you get to this level where you know, you can run out this good, that's where it becomes the little things, the break, being able to kick safe. Those things become super important because guys aren't making a lot of mistakes. So the way you're going to differentiate yourself and be better than everybody else is doing things like kicking safe.
Yeah. Very narrow margins at the top level.
I'll tell you a story. I was very good friends with Lou Butera. He won the
Machine Gun Lou.
Machine Gun Lou. He won the 1972 Straight Pool World Championship. Great player. Would have accomplished a lot more, except he pretty much gave up pool to earn a living for his family. But the first time he played Efren Reyes, they go hill, and Lou plays this lock-up safe on it, and Efren shoots a four-rail kick and rolls up safe, just has Lou locked up, and Lou was all pissed off that Efren had gotten lucky on him, and bitching and complaining to his friends. So a few hours later, he's in the practice room, and he sees Efren showing the other Filipinos the shot that he hit on Lou, and he's doing it over and over again. And that's how good Efren kicks. You know, I mean, it was such a difficult shot. Lou thought he got lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, he's scary. I've still seen that video. I can't remember who was he playing. Efren was playing Earl. I don't know what tournament it was, but you'll have seen it. The Z kick shot, as maybe you want to call it, where Efren was hooked, ended up going across the table to the like
Yeah, I think I
as we
know the
look.
match you're talking about.
Yeah,
It
the
was
right
like back
side,
in the
left side,
90s.
and then the ball's in the top rail, and he kicks it, and it goes in. And that was, in fact, that was the final rack decider, I think, or something like that. I can't remember what one it was, but that was some shot.
Yeah, Efren had a lot of those. I played him once in a tournament, and he hit this. I played him before. I gambled with him before, but this was in a tournament, and he played this. He played this safety shot on me that was so crazy that not only would have nobody else shot it, I don't think anybody else would have even thought of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, well, this has got to go in as long as you just pick the point. I mean, there's no reason to miss this. That's the only
Yeah, the
problem
real
that can
question
happen, though. Yeah.
is how's he going to get on the four ball, and that's mediocre, but probably good enough. I mean, this ball is missable.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, again, he could be brave enough and just go for the lockup here. He needs to get it tight if he's going to try that.
Yeah, playing safe isn't a bad option here. I mean, if you're going to shoot this, you got to make it. I mean, the safety's not terribly difficult. Speed-wise, I'm not sure he can quite roll up on the 7. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that was the problem with that is he didn't quite roll up on the
yeah.
7. But, you know, he's got a hook. I mean, Mal doesn't have a jump shot where he can pocket the ball easily.
Nope.
I mean, that's being smart because he obviously he didn't think that shot was a 99%er.
What's he thinking here? Trying to skim it past the 7.
That was a very good shot.
And that is not bad.
But, you know, that's the difference in these players. I mean, Cobra just passed up a shot that I guarantee you almost everybody else in this field is shooting that ball. And Cobra, one of the better players, and certainly capable of making it, passed it up.
Now this Cobra is looking to kick this full in the face, and it misses the 5, I would think, but he needs to get lucky here. Yep, he's missed it,
Well,
missed
he
the
hit that
5.
really good.
The only problem is,
And that's the speed you need to hit it to get it to check up like that. You got to get it skidding off the rail. If you hit that easier, the cue ball is going to wander out past the 5.
yeah, Mal's going to jump this though, no problem.
Yeah, he didn't come out as good as he would have liked. I mean, if he could have got up on the 5 a little closer, it might have been good. But, he played a good shot. It just didn't work out.
Selby's won the first frame of the night. 15-11 he is now.
Well, both these guys are playing pretty good. This is not, nobody's going to run away with this match.
Oh yeah, I think there's a fair few twists and turns to happen before the night's over. So the lead is 3. Well, nobody cared about Steve Davis in the 80s when he came along. And he took the game to another level. And Selby, when he's on his game, I mean, he's maybe not the flamboyant player that people like to watch, but once he's got his man, he's got his claws into Murphy, and Murphy's going to really just fall into his hands by taking too many risks, and he'll just get picked off. Well, Cobra has his chance from the dry break from Mal. He's going to have to deal with the 2 ball straight away though.
Yeah, I think, the 2-5 is a pretty easy combo, and
Freeze
he's got to
adjacent.
get a shot on the 5 ball, which it shouldn't be terribly difficult. I mean, he's got a little bit of a funny angle here. I think he can roll this. Yep.
I just had to watch, see if he'd hit that any harder, it could have been stuck in the rail there. He's okay.
Yeah, this shot's a little touchy, but you just got to make sure you get an angle on the 3 that's good.
Don't you start that, Slim. Forget that conversation. Ball to a rail in snooker. That's why they have the snooker shootout. That's played like 9 ball. Ball in
Yeah,
hand
well, I
anywhere on
mean,
the table.
the snooker rules are, there's good and bad things about them. I mean, snooker's a great game. It's always been a great game. The sad thing that I see about the rules is not anything to do with, ball or rail. It's the fact that they've changed them over the years to try to band-aid them to make things fairer or make things, I don't know, it's a lot of things have happened to the rules that aren't so wonderful. And that's one of the reasons why they're so complicated. But I think the basic idea of hitting a ball to a rail isn't really necessary in snooker. I mean, the rules work good the way they are. Yeah, well, I mean, he's sitting very good here. He can just stop this if he wants. I mean, he'll have a little bit of angle there.
Yeah, but again,
drop back.
he's taking his time though. He's taking his time. I mean, there's no reason to do it because he's plenty of room to go on the 8.
Yeah. I would have never done that. I would have just stopped it because you had to angle the other way, and then you just go long rail, end rail. I mean, it's a kind of a standard shot in pool. It's like, why, draw it back and when you had it, just all you had to do was stop it and shoot it.
Why fix it when it ain't broke?
Yeah, I mean, just adding those little things. I think that's one of the problems better players get into is because they can do everything, then, you know, they don't think anything of it. Oh, I'm going to draw this back a foot, and, you know. But the problem with that is that, you know, it introduces uncertainties. If you watch the great players, they would have just stopped that ball. They wouldn't have drawn it back.
Mm-hmm. So, Cobra back within 2 with the break, going to the right side this time. Still in Albinario territory for the break. Watch the middle pocket, see what happens. Now that's one of these.
Yeah, that was a slug.
That was a slug break, as you call it.
Slug wreck. Now, Steve, who has the most powerful draw strike you've seen? Oh boy. Well, that's a good question. I'd probably say Mike Massey, but I know this kid that I could show you the shot that he was shooting. It's a shot where you put an object ball on a long rail at the head string, and you put the cue ball down at the first diamond on the end rail about an inch off it, and then you hit it with drawn left English, and you take the cue ball, it comes back to the other long rail, goes 3 rails and scratches in the other corner. And it was pretty impressive seeing him shoot that shot. Let's put it this way. Maybe some of those championship billiard players could do it, but I know Dennis Hatch came up and was watching him do it, and Dennis says, let me try it, and Dennis couldn't come close to it. He's got a pretty big stroke, so there's always somebody out there that, you know, is going to amaze you at how they can hit the cue ball.
Well, no.
Me personally, I do this drill where I set up balls and a diamond past the side pocket, and then from the head string, so they're basically 3 diamonds apart, shoot draws and bring it back to the end rail. And the biggest one I've ever done in real life was off the end rail and then up to a diamond short of the other end rail.
So that's like that, and then up to there.
It's basically drawn at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. It's basically drawn at 12 diamonds with a rail hit in the middle of it.
Oh, now I think he's okay.
But we actually used Mike Massey for the max draw stroke when we were working on virtual pool. And every game somebody gives up in this thing is going to be really important when it comes down to the end.
Mal edges away again. Cobra might be chasing his tail for a few racks here unless he gets a run of the ball. Maybe change something in his favour. I think he went for that, while you were talking, I think he went for that thin cut down into the top left pocket as we look on that too, Cobra, and that's what left a shot on for Mal to run the table.
Now this situation's a little tricky here. The safety to get behind the 6 is really touchy. I might thin the 2 ball here if I could get behind the 7, but I don't think you can. I think you'd have to put too much hit on the 2 when it would sneak out in front of the side pocket. If you hit it real thin, it's going to run into the 8. This is tricky. Yeah, and he didn't. That's not a very good shot. I mean,
Now is he trying to get in behind the 3 and 9 there?
I think so, and you know, in a way, that's smart because he uses the 5 to try to control the speed of the 2 ball so it doesn't come back down table. But if you're going to do that, for sure you got to make sure you get the ball drawn enough to get behind the 3 and 9. And he didn't. I mean, he made the one mistake you don't want to. I don't think the idea was bad, but the execution was not very good.
This 4 ball, he's going to have to surely take this into the same pocket. I mean, where's he? And dropping that into the side, you've got to get good on it to play that at that tight an angle. Got to get there though. That'll do it.
It's got a nice angle here. This is a pretty standard kind of shot. Usually on these kind of shots, you want to decide where you're going to hit on the other rail. And he's not going to hit it, but in general, the way good players will look at that is they're looking at where they're going to come into that other long rail. They'll pick a diamond and say, I want to hit here. And they do that so they can get an angle on the next shot, which Cobra had a perfect one.
Nice. Just gone a bit straight.
Yeah, he can shoot the 8 in the corner, though. He doesn't have to shoot it in the side.
Doesn't want to take any liberties here with this 7 ball.
Yeah, he's just going to roll forward.
Yeah.
That's smart. Now this one he's a little funny on. You may cut this on the side just because he's kind of funny going towards that pocket. The corner is a little bit funny. Yeah, he may be doing it anyways. I'd probably cut this on the side just because
it's amazing how often that cue ball just trickles into that middle pocket. When you play this shot, if you play it into the corner,
I think he can get by the pocket. It's just kind of funny. I'd shoot this on the side.
Nice.
That's not a bad choice either. You know, if he didn't like the side. I mean, that's, you know, leave yourself a longer shot. It doesn't really matter.
Plenty of open territory, so they'll bail out.
Well, I know one problem I've had in real life a lot is, you know, I tend to try to play perfect shape all the time, and that's great most of the time, but sometimes that's not a good thing to do.
Oh, now
that was a slug.
That 5 ball though was the second in the second row there, and it headed over and it was going in, but it got kicked out the way.
Well, he's got a pretty good looking table here, so this shot isn't difficult. He's just got to make the ball. The shape is natural.
Well, the problem's...
And I mean, the corner pocket's the only thing you got to watch out for as far as cue ball path. And he hit that perfect. I mean, he should be out here.
Well, I think this is going to need a pretty good shot to get good on this 3.
Well, he's smart. He's going to go forward. And the reason why you go forward here is because it's a lot easier to control. The only reason I'd ever consider going back if I thought the spot I could get to on the other long rail was real easy to get to, where I was going to have a good angle, because the reason I like going forward is it's easier to control the speed.
Now, I think he's a bit like me, trying to convince myself that there's enough room to get to that 3.
Oh, there's plenty of room. I mean, it goes with center ball, and he's going to hit this with a little left English. It goes easy.
There you
And
go.
he
Oh
boy,
no, oh he's got lucky. He's nudged the
he
7
must have
in.
been afraid of. He was afraid of that because that ball. I mean, all you have to do is look down the shot line. And you could see that even without English, the ball would go with a good hit. I mean, that's kind of silly to miss that ball like that.
Nice.
And it's kind of lucky to make the 7.
Yeah, he's got a lucky break there. Can he take advantage of it?
Yeah, well, I mean that's important. When you get lucky, you need to take advantage of it.
That's what I said the other day. It doesn't matter how many flukes you get. It's what you do. It's what you do with the fluke.
Let's see, is there ETA? Not right now because I actually haven't worked on it for a couple of weeks because I've been working on some physics stuff. I got a friend that's a billiard player, and so he's been doing some testing, and I've been working on tweaking physics. So that's taken a lot of time, but I'll get back to it. I mean, I've got to the point on the leagues where the setup works, the team management works, players joining the team and leaving the team, and lineups, all that works, and I've been able to create rooms for play. So it's made a lot of progress, and I'll get back to it. I'm not, you know, dedicating 100% of the time to that right now, but I think it's pretty much a given it'll be done by the end of the year. It's once we get to the point where it looks like it's working, then we're going to start testing, and we've already got some players that want to be involved in testing. It's going to take a fair amount of testing to get all the things worked out.
Right, Cobra's having a little break. Right, now, while Cobra's having a little break, let's have a little zoom in this pack and see what we
Yeah, you
can
might as well
spot.
zoom in and take a look at it, and let's see what the rack looks like.
Right.
Now, this rack is actually a pretty good rack, and I will tell you that
Now, when I looked at a previous rack, the one that I was in another match, there was one that had what I would have called a significant gap, even though it was only a minuscule gap. But if you look at that 6 and 7, they're fairly tight. Or it's
yeah, well, I can already tell you looking at this rack, it's going to break pretty good. As far as where I would break this rack from,
yeah, I don't see much difference in them.
I would probably break this rack off the side rail.
Oh,
I mean, usually in 9-ball, the thing you're trying to do is make the wing ball.
oh, wait a minute. Oh, cue ball's found a pocket.
That's not good.
That's
Yeah,
a
scratch on the
disaster.
break. I remember Earl said something about how scratch on the break's the biggest momentum changer in pool, and really is. I mean, in general, any scratch is bad. A buddy of mine was playing a tournament in Tallahassee, which I really wanted to play in, and I couldn't go. But he was playing Roberto Gomez, and he was up 2-1. They had a safety battle. My buddy scratched, and that was the last time he got to the table. It was a race to 7 9-ball. Gomez ran 6 racks on him.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, well, that's what it's like playing monsters like that. Is that you make one mistake and that could be the end of it.
Semi-pro's asking a question there. Steve, I've been studying the L shape. I understand it, but can you explain it to others? Well, can you explain it to me as well?
Well, it just has to do with there's a L between going down one side of the rack and across, like down the outside of the rack to the corner ball and then across, and there's one on each side. And to get that corner ball to go in, you want it's basically a timing thing. You need that ball that's below the corner ball to get out of the way. So if the L is tight on one side and there's a gap on the other, the gap side is the side that the corner ball will go in on. And how big that gap is kind of determines where you want to break. The bigger that gap is, the more you move the cue ball towards the center of the table. Uh, Given all things being perfect, like if you have Magic Rack or something, you know, you definitely want to break off of the side rail.
Well, all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
it's going to be hard to describe this, guys. I mean, honestly, the best thing to do is get Joe Tucker's video, because it's really worth having. But you might be able to find more information on it online because it's kind of hard to describe. You know, maybe sometime if we're in a room on VP4, I can show everybody what I mean by ball numbers and stuff. And these guys aren't going to let the ball sit there long enough to talk about it.
well, we're all square since since the start of the match. We're now back all square, and that is a nice, well, nice weight. And he's just going to brush into the 8 for the 5 into the middle, so he should be out. He doesn't want to brush
Yeah,
this 8 too heavy though.
No, he's gonna go. It's gonna just slow the cue ball down a lot. He's fine. This is just pocket speed. You don't have to hit this real hard. You want the 8 to slow it down.
Yeah, that's maybe created a problem.
You don't want to put the 8 there. He hit that harder than he needed to.
Yeah, you see that 8 any further, obviously it was then in line with the 9. He's now got the ball in
Yeah,
line
he
with the
just
8.
hit that too hard. He did not need that much speed on the 2 ball to get in the pocket. When I said pocket speed, I mean like, you know, where it's just getting to the pocket. And he hit that much harder than that. And because of that, now he's got to deal with this. I think what I'd try to do here is get on the other long rail because you got a nice shot on the 7. There's a lot of room over there.
Yeah, he's trying to get there.
He's doing.
Yeah, he hasn't hit it.
Getting there. See, well, that's another huge mistake. Whenever you're shooting a shot like that, you want to make sure you go to the rail because the rail will help you control the speed. It's going to slow the cue ball down. If you're a little short of it, you're good. If you're a little long of it, you're good. And you got a lot more room on the long side because the rail slows the speed down. And I'm not saying that's not what he was trying to do because he might have been trying to do that and just didn't accomplish it. I mean, obviously he's a smart player and he knows how to play, so I'm not saying he made a mistake where he didn't try to do that. He just may have executed it not as good as he could have.
Well, that's pretty much all he could do there.
Yeah, well, this isn't good. This is a pretty easy safety. If you understand how the balls move, that's a terrible shot.
That was poor. He should have checked. You know, that should have been in behind the 9.
Well, no, I thought the easier shot was to put it on the 8 ball, actually.
Oh, I would have checked it. I'm pretty certain you could have punched that and checked it.
Little top spin and come off the rail, and you can adjust the angle with English.
Well,
but yeah, I think you're right, Hugh. I think he was trying to get on the 9 ball.
The thing is that Mal cracked? Is that a chink in his armour? Because it was a poor safety.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have shot it that way, but you know, maybe that was a reasonable way to shoot it. He just didn't execute very well.
Well, the significant thing is Cobra's going to be in the lead for the first time in the match.
Yeah, that shot where you take the cue ball off the rail and then come into another ball, especially if you're doing it with a little inside English, is a very, very common safety shot, and you can control the speed well and just run up and bump that other ball and maybe even get locked on it. I mean, 8 ball was a little further from the rail than is common for that shot, but he had a very good angle to hit that.
And what do you want after you've got yourself into the lead? You want a break, a ball and a shot, and what's he got? Nothing. And Mal's off and running. Gonna have to bail
Yeah,
again.
well, that was a mistake. I mean, that situation was tricky. And in those kind of situations, and where you got to hit a ball with draw, and it's easy to do what he did. As far as execution mistakes go, that wasn't like a horrible one. It was a tough situation. Let's see where he goes here. I'd be going to the back against the middle of the end rail. Yep, just like that.
Now needs a nice brush here, half ball, that'll do it.
Yeah. I think that was the right way to play that shot. I mean, obviously, if he was a little wider, it'd be better, but he hit it good enough. Let's see if he rolls this. Nope, he did not. I don't like that shot because you can hook yourself on the 9-ball if you're just off by a little. I mean, you watch the great players play, you won't see them shoot that shot like that because they know to not take chances, or if you just hit a little funny, you're hooked. Or you're snookered, I guess most of the UK guys would say. In the US, we say hooked a lot, but same thing. You just don't want to put the cue ball on pass where that can happen unless you have to.
That's a very, very valid point. And I mean, we've seen it during this tournament. There's only 2 balls left in the table, and where don't you want to put the cue ball? Right behind the 8, or right behind the 9 when you're going for the 8. We've seen that happen. By not playing the sensible shot. You don't go near that ball. But yet sometimes players, they don't give it the attention it needs, and then, as you say, they end up finding that troublesome spot. Well,
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's not obvious watching good players because you don't know what they're thinking. But I can remember Shane playing, and he shoots this shot, and he gets on the next ball fine. He's just got to draw it and come off the rail, and you can see he's all pissed off, or upset, I guess. I guess pissed is a bad word for the UK. He's not drunk. He's upset.
yeah, he's annoyed.
And I knew he was upset because he wanted to get on that ball where he could just roll to the next ball, and he got a place where he had to draw and come off a rail, and it wasn't a hard shot. It's something he's probably going to make 999 out of 1,000, but he was upset with himself, and it just sort of shows how the great players think, is they want simple.
Well, there's no sense at this point in time that anybody's taking control of this match. And for that to happen, the break needs to start getting a bit more consistent for one or the other, or a bit more inconsistent for one or the other. Something has to give.
Kind of expected this match to be real close like this. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if it went hill-hill.
Always. Well, see these.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot there, just sort of forcing it over. I mean, it probably would
A
have been a
bit
little
more.
easier if you pulled it back a little more.
This is always a testy shot, this.
I mean, the ball should be easy to pocket. It's a question of where he's going to put the cue ball. I mean, the 9-ball definitely could be hit. Well, he hit that really well.
That was well played.
Yeah,
now,
that was what he did is shot a kill shot. So he's hitting that with a lot of draw to take the speed off of it.
This is tricky. He's nailed to the rail.
I think he can go forward and miss that 9.
Yeah, that's like fine. That. He seems to like these rails. He's finding them often enough.
Yeah, I mean, shooting off the rail is always tougher. A little easier in VP4 than real life, but it definitely limits your options.
Well, so Cobra back into the lead for the second time in the match. Now he's looking at the centre brake, he's thinking about it, he's gone for it, he's back to his original brake that he hasn't tried tonight. That's, I think, the first time he's tried it, or if he has, I've missed the other ones, but it still comes up dry. Well, Mal's played the push out. I don't know whether
I
that
think
cue
that's a
ball.
great push out.
I mean, the main
I
pro.
mean,
Well, he's left it way short with the cue ball for a start, because this is going to
yeah.
entice the cut.
Yeah, it's a tricky cut with the ball on the rail. I think Cobra may just play safe here, and this is not an easy safe where that ball is.
In
either.
fact, Mal's right enough. I mean, I should have looked closely at that. That's frozen to the rail.
That was a tough save. Did he get there? He did. That was a well-played shot. That was not an easy safety. Well, he didn't get there. I thought he did, but I guess he could see the edge of it, and now he's paying. That was well played. Well, that just shows you that that was a pretty good push out.
Yeah.
End up with that.
Cobra's in a heap of trouble here now. Let's have a look. I mean, it's even awkward to try and lock a ball up here and you know, give Mal ball in hand. It's because he's so close to the four.
This is a tough situation. I think maybe he can zigzag this. Yeah, it's tough. The side pocket's in the way for a zigzag shot.
Well, this is
he gets on the far side of the side pocket. He's wide. That wasn't a bad choice, but that was tough.
Yep. Efren would have dealt with that, no problem.
Efren, you know. And the tough thing about that in real life is, you know, you can't get to the ball where that was to hit it off the back rail like he did. I mean, you know, you can only use a bridge. What the heck do you call it in the UK? It's not a bridge.
Well, that would be the spider over the ball.
Spider, okay, yeah. I knew that it was called something else.
Well, Selby is going to be one away.
There's a situation where Mal took the, for sure, position on the 6, giving himself not as easy a shot, but he was sure he could get on it.
Well, he's got his reward in this rack. Back all square. So Mal going for the centre break as well. 8 ball in the middle, or in the side, as the guys in the States say.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. He might push out here because I don't see anything obvious as far as safety play.
I see a safety shot here. I see a safety here, Steve.
Well, he can kick off the rail.
Kick off the rail and drop the cue ball in behind the 6 if he gets really lucky.
It's just where that side pocket is, I don't think he can get the one ball at the angle you want. I mean, if he's past the side pocket, he's thin on it, and if he's on the short side of the side pocket, he's too thick on it. I think because of where that thing is sitting. Yeah, that's a horrible play.
Yeah, well, I think I would have made a better job of that one. He got it too
I
thick.
don't know why he didn't push out. I mean, that's the thing, is when you're in a situation where the safety looks really tough, push out. Push out the safety that's maybe a little easier, but not, impossible. Yeah, that's the second really poor safety Mal has played. I don't know if it's just that his safety play isn't up to snuff, or he's nervous, or what's going on.
Well, thinking ahead here, what does Cobra do about the 6? Does he leave that as a nice combo? Well, he's made sure of that.
Deal with it right there.
Made sure of that. This is a bit testy as well, though. That cue ball wants to go near that side pocket, unless he takes evasive action.
He had kind of a funny angle to try to move that 9. It was a little hard to control the cue ball. The tricky thing here is where the side pocket is. See if he's going to try to get to the short side of it. Yep. And he missed it. And that miss was just by trying to make sure he got to the short side and trying to hit the object ball a little bit more dead on, and caused him to miss the shot. He might have been cheating to the left side of that pocket.
Now, of course, the other thing is, though, had he left that 9 ball well alone, it would at least have still left him the combo. And which was it wasn't a really difficult combo once you know where the 5 ball is in relation to where the 6-9 combo was. So now it's left wide open for Mal.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there, Q, because that trying to move that 9 ball when he tried to move it was pretty tricky, and it didn't work out for him. And the combo wasn't that tough. I agree with you. That might have been a better play.
That's going that way, that rack.
Well, that's a good break. See if he gets a shot.
What will be lost?
That's a funny situation.
5 ball.
I mean, the shot here is to cross bank in the side pocket. Wow.
Well, here's the interesting thing, though, Steve. Look at the 6-9.
That was a good shot. That wasn't an easy shot. Yeah, see what he decides to do with it. I mean, you can play the 6 ball in the other corner pocket. It does go.
Yeah. As long as you get high enough on it, we'll see what he does.
Oh boy, he just overhit that one.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna have to play the combo now. No, he's gonna play the other way. Now the question is, he got enough room to not hit it? Yep, he does. He's good. Now this shot is a little tricky. I mean, he was smart and didn't try to draw it too much. That's a shot that can be missed. If any of you guys like to watch YouTube videos, Earl Strickland's been commentating a lot of the ones that are on the, the billiard, the guys that just came on board with us. The guys that are actually sponsoring this tournament. The billiard channel. They got Earl commentating on a lot, and it's really interesting because he'll tell you, I don't like this shot. And like, that's one of those kind of shots like that one where he might have said, I don't like this shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, that choice by Cobra to break out the 6 and 9 could be very expensive, because it's cost him 2 racks so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's sort of the nature of play at this level. The mistakes are costly. Well, that's an interesting push out. Let's see if Cobra gives it back. I probably wouldn't give this back, but let's see what he does here. I think he can. I think he can get behind the 6 on this. Bring the 1 ball back up the table to the other end rail.
Well, you can certainly hit it thick enough to try and bank it up the table and get the distance. But it looks as if he's doing something crazy here, Cobra. I thought he was contemplating a crazy cut there.
He might be shooting it.
No,
No, he's thin cutting it. He's going that way behind the 6, which I don't like as much.
Well, he's going to be in
Because
trouble
if you
here.
don't get behind the 6, you might leave a shot, but he came out good.
He's going to be in trouble here. Yeah.
Any of those kind of safeties where you don't get behind the ball and you could leave a shot, those are ones that you need to reconsider.
See, if he tried to hit most of that 1 ball and bank it back up the table, the only danger was that was maybe worrying him is that the 1 ball was going to run into the 2 or the 7 or thereabouts when it came back down the table. But
well, the angle he needed to get behind the 6, he had to hit it pretty full, so it was going to come probably more even potentially on the other side of the 8. Oh, there's a missed ball.
Well,
and I think he came up short on that. What I mean by that is Mal was hitting that with low draw. And on that shot, if you come up a little short, the cue ball turns too much and you overcut it like that.
Yeah. Stubb wants green or grey cloth for his match tomorrow. Well, you can whatever colour you want. Stubb, you're the one that's playing. I'll be having blue. Well, this is important for Cobra. Just again to stay in touch.
He just got funny. He's dead straight in on this.
Oh yeah.
And,
bolt
the draw
straight.
shot's tricky. Rolling forward. I mean,
yeah. You know what he's going to do though. He's going to pinch it. He's going to pinch it, and just pinch an angle to get over to the 3.
He's going to come back. This is tricky. He's got to miss the 4.
Oh.
He did. That's not bad.
Well, I suppose it was more sensible than the one that I was thinking. He's still giving himself a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he was, being cautious on the speed. He didn't want to hook himself behind the 6.9, which is smart.
Well, this is just right on the centre line, so no problem.
These guys are talking about Earl. Probably the greatest 9-ball player that's ever lived.
Is Earl still based in, what's the name of the place? The place we stole the carpet from.
Up in North Carolina in the Greensboro area.
Ah, so he was based in New York, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was playing at Steinway for a while. He's from Greensboro. I don't know where he's living right now. Like a lot of these pool players can be somewhat nomadic. But he's probably spent the majority of his life in Greensboro. Well, especially the Filipinos. I mean, I think Jeff DeLuna's been down in Florida lately. He's been playing a lot down there.
Oh.
These Filipinos, they're away from home most of the time.
Well, Cobra back to within one.
Now let's see what he does here. He's got a pretty good safety opportunity.
Well,
It is a little tricky though.
this is dangerous. This is because he can't really get the 2 away from the 4, and
I agree.
if he's trying to skim this 2 and trying
That's a
to nudge
mistake.
behind the 6, you just leave it wide open.
Yep, and that's the shot I'm talking about where, it's a tough getting the snooker, and if you don't, you're screwed. I mean, I don't think thin on the 2 is
No.
going to be the ticket. And this is another one, if you don't like it, push out to something.
Yeah.
Yep,
He's relying on
that.
well.
That's just not a good play, really.
It was risky. It was risky.
Yeah.
He's got away with it.
Well, he hit it good. He's going to get rewarded for it. Strange things can happen here. He's going to need to spin this pretty hard.
I haven't seen Earl. I haven't seen him for a while, but is he still strapping various contraptions to his body to play pool?
No, not that much anymore. I mean, he's not even playing with as long an extension last time I saw him. But things are liable to change. But he hasn't strapped a lot to himself for quite a while. At one point, it was getting ridiculous.
I mean, lead weights in his arms, all sorts of strapping and devices in his fingers. Goodness me. Anything to get an edge. The interesting thing, Steve, you won't have seen this. I can't remember who it was, whether it was Kyron Wilson, who got knocked out in the semis in the World Championships here that's on at the moment. But he actually had a shot, and I'll try and show on the an illustration on the table. But he had a shot in snooker the other day in one of his matches that I never saw live, but I saw a replay of it. He used, I think it may well have been the bridge, as you call it, the spider, as we call it. Well, wait to get rid of that. Hang on a minute. I'll see if I can make it easier to understand. But he had a shot where he was trying to reach over a ball, and now if you look at the red line and imagine that is the bridge laid across the table, I think he had a shot where he had to use the rest, as we call it, like that, but he used the bridge to put his hand on. His hand was like that.
He put it on top of the other one. Yeah. I've seen guys do that.
It's the first time I've seen that in snooker, though. A bit of imagination like that.
That's actually sort of surprising to me, because I would think that would come up in snooker more than it does in pool. I've seen that on a pool table. With as big as a snooker table is, I would have thought that would come up more. But sometimes you need extra height. I've also seen guys stack, one on top of the other.
Yeah.
Just to get more height.
Yeah, you get that. I mean, you get guys using, obviously if it's a Chinese snooker, they've got the bridge, and then they've got the rest on top of the bridge, and all sorts of stuff going on. But
that's probably more common than the sideways number.
Well, we're all square again, folks. 11 racks all. And nobody, I don't see many people preparing to call a result yet. We had, there was a result called earlier. What was the score? Was it 19-15 to Mal? I think somebody said.
The result. Well, not exact. I picked Mal at the beginning, but I also said I thought it'd be real close.
Well, I'll go 19-17 Cobra, and then just come off the fence. Just to actually stir it up amongst the crowd.
Yeah, this is one of the matches that, really could go either way. Now, this hit is a little tricky. I think you want to massé this into the side rail. You may try to jump it. I mean,
Yeah,
masse this into the side rail and then off the end rail into the 2 and
yeah,
get the 2 coming down table.
yeah. Try and get it a full kick in the face.
Well, you've got the 8, 4, 5, a bunch of balls there that could hide the 2 or could present combos or something where you're not giving up a lot. If you can hit that 2 pretty full in the face,
You know the problem with the
you're
masse, Steve. The problem with the masse when you look at it is this is too tight and there's not enough room. I don't think that's why he's jumping it.
yeah. Well,
The
let's see if he
closer we
goes to
look,
the end rail.
nope, he's
Yeah, I would have shot the masse there.
he's
And he may have been aiming that to hit the 2 directly, which would have been a mistake. I mean, that shot, you want to go 2 rails into the 2 ball because that gives you the greatest chance of not giving up a shot on it.
yeah. These balls acting as a blocker down table would have been a safer shot.
Well, we'll never know what he was trying to do because obviously he didn't get over that 3 ball.
Well, Cobra's had the lead twice in the match. He's going to have to regain it again.
Yeah, well, the difference in this match right now is Mal is losing the moving game. He's already played a couple poor safeties, and I think that's really the difference in this match.
The interesting thing as well is, I mean, we've not seen anybody getting on a roll yet with this break. And as soon as that happens for one of them, they may well win them. They might do enough to win the match from it. You never know. How does that look? 8 ball in the break. 1 ball is tightish. It will go in off the jaw.
Yeah, I honestly think Mal should be up about 4 games, 5 games right now, but he's only up 1, and he needs to just tighten up a little, or this is gonna go down to the wire. Uh-oh.
That's giving him something to think about.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's a little tricky because of where the 4 ball is. Not sure if he's trying to bump that 4 ball, but now he's in a funny spot.
Now, what's he looking at here? Is he surely not looking at the bank?
He's got a safety hitting the ball across.
Going all out for the bank.
2-rail bank. That's, well,
There wasn't much room.
That's what he made. Look, I don't know if he's playing a 1 or 2 railer, but that was a good shot. He had a safety option there too, but I like the aggressive play there. All things being equal between a safety and a shot, I'd rather shoot the shot.
Well, the lead is 2. Is the break going to work? Is that going to be the difference now? Staying with the centre break.
Somebody's asking, is it better to use a jump cue for masse shots in VP4? No, it's not. But you can do jump masse shots or jump shots with English on them. I mean, it's possible to do that and get the ball to curve, but that's adding complication. I mean, it's an interesting question because there may be shots that come up where that might be the best way to hit them is with the jump cue. I'm not sure I've ever even done that in real life.
I don't think I've ever tried anything like that with a jump cue.
But it's an interesting idea. I may try that, just see what it does. I know I've had the ball curve a lot with a jump cue when I didn't want it to.
Oh, I'm quite good at that. Yeah.
There's another sloppy safety. That's, you know.
Well,
He's got him hooked, but not by much. I mean, he can probably make this ball.
Can Cobra keep it in the table though?
I mean, I thought he could have got him a lot better than he did.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah, well, you know, he only had to get over a very little piece of that 9-ball. I mean, if he could have got him where he had even a quarter ball at that distance, it would have all of a sudden been, you know, one of those you had to hit hard enough that the cue ball might fly off the table.
Yeah, I mean that was still a well-controlled shot, because I've seen far too many jump shots being played where the object ball's near the rail and the cue ball bounces on the object ball and bounces on the rail and off the table. I've seen a lot of that, but the control in that was just right.
Yeah, we had the confidence to hit it the right way. I mean, a lot of times that comes down to understanding what it's going to do and have enough confidence to hit it that way. It's real easy to all of a sudden say to yourself in the middle of your backstroke, oh, I better give it a little more and make sure I get over this 9-ball, and next thing you know, it's flying off the table.
Now here's a problem to be dealt with here. You've got to watch. Yeah, he's again just trying to be cute there. He didn't want.
I would have taken that 2 rails, and
Yeah.
you know, the only danger is you need to miss the side pocket. I
Yeah.
mean, I would have drawn it 2 rails, and you know, yeah, I was kind of surprised he tried to play it that way. Because even if he made the ball, his cue ball wasn't in a very good spot. I mean, if you are going to hit that with inside English, you know, I mean, I would have hit it hard and brought the cue ball down off the other end rail, not baby it like that.
Yeah, trying to be cute on it. I mean, that's the thing, you know, you got to commit yourself to the shot, and that was a shot where he had to commit himself, and he didn't. But then again,
well, here we go. Mal's got a nice looking shot here.
Apart from the scratch. So, Mal, 3-rack lead, scratching the break, Cobra with ball in hand for a quick 1-9.
Well, Hugh, what do you think? I would expect he's going to run this out. Oh,
No.
Just do that.
Just the 1-9 combo. But he needs. It's getting to a stage now where he needs this break in a run. This is the ideal time to get it. A break and a shot, and I don't think he's getting it.
Yeah, he's got a shot, but it's not a good one. And this is a tricky safety too. This is again a time where you might want to consider pushing out. Push out to something tough, but something you like better than this.
Right. Well, the one doesn't cut past the 2 into the middle, so you know, if he plays down here, he's putting himself at risk that he could be hooked behind the 7 and the 8 that way. He's going for the shot. Oh yeah. Well, he's been brave. He's got to deliver now.
Good. Hit it good. I think he's going to get rewarded for that great shot.
Well, this is the one where it's the positioning is vital because of where that 7 is, in the sense that does he want to just run to the right side rail as we look and cut the 7, or does he want to get down low in the 7 past the 8 on the left side?
I would shoot this from like over back on the 9-ball side from the long rail, because even if you get thin, you can roll that thing. I mean, you know, shoot it where you're cutting it to the right back in that corner pocket.
Yeah, you see what you're saying there, Steve. You know, Cobra should already have that in mind. You know, and where he is at the table at the moment, he's on the 4, so he's got to come up with the right decision to get there.
Yeah, I mean, either side works. The reason I favor the long rail side is because there's more room there. The speed to get to that spot is less critical. You've got, you know, 5 or 6 feet, whereas on the other side, you've got a lot less room. And he's playing the other side.
He's going the other side. He's going to go low. It looks like it, unless he's going to run it.
No, he's going to go forward. This is the good thing about going forward here is you can control the speed pretty well.
He's got there.
So that's just fine. I mean, that wasn't, you know, given he could get on the 6 that way, that's not a bad way to play it. Because he's got a real control shot. He's not doing anything crazy.
Well, that was a brave shot to start this run, so he deserves a rack for that reason. It was a tough first shot.
Yeah, he's played this rack well. I mean, yeah, it's a shame you make a great shot like that and then you don't run out.
So, 1 in it. Cobra with a break. And rack number 28. Cue ball running loose. Didn't hear anything dropping. Nope, it's dry.
Well, here we go, another situation where Mal needs to move. Let's see if he can be successful here. This is not super easy. That's the shot I would have played.
Oh, that's a good shot. That has got Cobra nailed straight away.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he had a lot of cover there, but getting on that 5 was really important because the 1 ball was exposed.
And look at the table. Table's wide open.
I'm going to take a quick break, Hugh. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, Cobra knows what the penalty is for not getting a hit here. Mal's going to be out. Yeah, that was tough. Really tough. Now is Mal's not going to be playing the combo in the 9 because the 6 has just come to the rescue in that one. And the other thing is that Mal's now not got an easy shot in the 1, so he's just going to nail Cobra again, go for the 3 fouls. Well, let's see, that is so tight. That's what about, you know, getting it tight is what it's all about, because that then just narrows every option down to like 1. Now he's going to have to go 2 rails, and this might be his lifeline if he can get this hit here, Cobra. He's in a dark place at the moment with this shot, but if he can get out of it and get lucky, maybe a bit like that, he might still have a chance. I mean, this is, it's unlikely Mal's not going to have a go at this, but it at least gives him a chance. Oh, he's killed the pace right off the cue ball. And he's got a shot in the 2, not easy. And not easy to get in the 3 either. Oh, he's hung it, and Cobra does survive. So that second hit there, that choice that Mal made going for the 3 fouls and giving Cobra that option of the 2 rail kick, it may well work out to his benefit here. If Cobra simply has to take this, he has to make Mal pay the price.
Oh, what happened? What did Mal do?
Mal went for the second foul, and Cobra was left in a tough spot, but he did a 2 rail kick and he got lucky. Mal did have a cut in the 2. Mal went for the cut in the 2, got it, and then missed a 3. And Cobra's in. Well, this has been a great escape for Cobra if he can get this done in this rack, and it may well have a big bearing in the outcome of this match. Right there, Mal didn't have the choice really to do anything else other than go for the second pill, because the what ball was it? Was it the 1 ball? It was locked up in the 6, and he couldn't get the cue ball anywhere really to pot it. So this is the end result of Cobra's escape and Mal's miss. It was the 1, wasn't it? Yeah. It may well be a vital one. And Murphy's won a frame back, I notice. Still trailing with 3. Selby still needs 2. Well, it's amazing with the table being wide open like this that you start looking for problems. You know, if this was in a challenge room, Cobra would have already potted this and it'd be down on the 7.
Yeah, and you don't really want to overthink things like this. It's not a difficult situation. I know that for me personally in real life, I've had times where I had a 4 ball out like this, and I'm looking at it and it looks real difficult. And that's when you got to stop and just say to yourself, you know, what the hell are you doing? Because you're going goofy at that point.
Well,
when easy stuff starts looking difficult, you're just doing that to yourself.
Well, he's got the weight perfect in that. That was a good shot. Yeah, the more you start looking at things, the more problems you start seeing that aren't really there. You know, if you just sometimes you just go your natural instinct, you'll get there.
Yeah, well, you've got to trust. You've done it so many times. There's no reason to overthink it. You know what to do. You know, it's really the difference between just reacting to it and using your artistic side of your brain versus letting your logical side start thinking too much.
Now, will this be the rack that changes the match for Cobra? That still remains to be seen. Well, now, one of the most important breaks here for Cobra at this point in the match. Both of them 5 away.
Yeah, they're all becoming important now.
Cross table, and the 8 ball was going in, but it kicked the 4 into the middle instead. And he's got a cut in the 1. The 2 ball and the 3 ball may well be a combo, or it may well have to be made.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good situation here. I think he can.
Can he drag?
Draw it a little and bump the 6 ball.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the play, is hit the 6 ball and take the speed off, play the combo. I mean, you'd probably just have to hit it with maybe a teeny bit of stun on that. You know, not a full stun, just a stun and let it go forward a little. You know,
he's just
hit it pretty thin, but he got away with it.
It's worked out as good as he could expect.
Yeah, he's real good on this. I mean, that's a game winner, that shot.
He's just come back nicely to give himself a proper sight in the 2 ball was always going to go to the rail. And he's got the angle.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to err on the safe side here, does he not? I mean, there's plenty.
Just draw this back to the side rail.
Plenty of room here.
I'd draw this just because it takes out the snooker.
Yeah, he's avoided everything doing it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't get much more simple than this run out. The only tricky part was the 1. Once he made that and got on the 2, and the rest of it's pretty much easy stuff.
The good thing, Cobra's always having that little look just to get his bearings so that he knows where everything is. And again, I mean, how many times have we done something stupid in VP4 where you forget where a ball is and you've got a totally different shot in your head. So he's just doing the right thing.
I think he's wondering how to hit this. And it looks like he's going to hit it the right way. Let's see what he does.
Well, needs to get into it enough. He's going to...
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, there's a lot of choices on how to play that 8-ball, but what he did wasn't a bad choice because it's, he's guaranteeing he gets reasonable shape on the 8.
Now, does he think he can still hold for this 9?
Yeah, you can just stun this. And
yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, sometimes with those situations where, he could draw that, he could go forward to shoot it in the same pocket, or, but it was real easy to get funny on it, doing that. And he took a real simple route where he didn't move the cue ball a lot, and that was probably a pretty good choice.
Well, he's got the lead for the 3rd time in the match, I think. But we're rapidly approaching the business end. At the break has deserted him again, I think. Did I hear anything drop there?
Nope.
Nope.
But I don't think Mal has a shot here. He's going to have to. This is tricky to push to. You either try to play the safety here, which is what he's doing.
Oh no. This is testy.
Mal hit that pretty hard. I would have played that shot, but maybe hit a little easier. He got away with it.
Now that one ball, depending how hard you hit that, is going to go that direction. He's taking a narrower line.
Shot there. That was.
And that is good.
That was very well played. Well, you got a real good chance to get safe here if you play this right. And he didn't even hit the ball.
Well, I think that might be a sign that Mal's beginning to crack there. I thought he rushed that a bit.
At the speed he hit that, it looked like he was trying to kick it in. I think trying to get the edge of the 1 ball was fine there, but because the cue ball then goes up table towards the other end.
Mm-hmm.
But he hit that awfully hard.
There's a question mark of balls on the table, Steve, like that. That question mark there. The question mark is Cobra going to run out and get a 2-rack lead?
Well, I bet you see a lot of things in clouds too.
Oh yeah, I've seen puppy dogs with fluffy tails and everything, Steve. That's a big question. Is it going to be answered now? Cobra's got his chance. He's got Mal by the tail.
Well, definitely the Cobra has played safe and kicked better than Mal has in this match.
Well,
as far as running out or execution and making balls, Mal's probably done slightly better.
Yeah, that one that I don't think you did see it, but the one that you missed, he had to simply escape from the trouble that Mal put him in, and I said at the time, if he can get away with actually hitting this and somehow getting it sort of safe, he may well still have a life in this rack. And even though Mal made a pot, Cobra still got back in and won the rack, and since then this is how the match is turned from that visit they had. Just one vital thing that can turn the match one way or the other, and we may well have witnessed it.
Yeah, playing bad safeties, that's a mistake. I count mistakes as missed balls and bad safeties. You can do it different ways, but that's what the measure I use in real life. And if you're playing a good competition in like race to 7 or race to 9, you can maybe make 2 mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you look at just the bad safeties Mal's played in this match, there must have been 4 or 5 of them already.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And each one of those is, you know, it's like missing a ball.
Now, what was my prediction earlier on? I think I came off the fence and I said 19. Did I say 1917 to Cobra?
Yes.
Well, there's still a fair chance of that happening.
Oh, yeah.
But to use another cliche, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So Mal has been asked a question. Is he up for the task?
Well, one question is, how many more chances is he going to get? Because, you know, when you're coming down to this part of the match, you know, if he doesn't get chances, he's not going to win the match. I mean, Cobra's 2 away from winning, and, you know, he might break and run out 2 wrecks.
Yep. The lead is 2. I definitely heard the ball that time, and he's okay for the 1 by the look of it. Oh, well, this is going to be tough. I mean, does he...
You can spin this down table. You just got to get it by the side pocket. I think the shot's on.
Well, he's certainly...
You can hit this with low and a lot of right spin and get it past the side pocket.
Yeah, he's going to miss... you know, I've got my line wrong. Hang on a minute. Well, he's went for the bank and the spin and the run, and he's perfect. One way or another.
That worked out. I shot that shot in the match against this kid, and but from the outside and spun it.
Does he go that way to get on this 3?
I think he's going to want to, well, I think at this angle, he's going to have a hard time coming back to shoot the 3 in that pocket. I think he's going to have to go forward. I'd probably go forward and long rail, end rail, and come back around and shoot it in the other corner pocket.
Yep, he's going that way. Giving himself plenty of room to get there.
And that's a smart way to play it. See, you know, a lot of guys say, oh, he overrolled it. But, you know, this isn't a hard shot to get on the 4 ball. And, you know, he made sure he didn't hook himself.
Now, what would you do here, Steve? Would you stun between the 8 and the 7? Or would you try and draw and nudge anything to get on the 4?
No, I'd go between the 8 and 7. I'd hit it with a little English so it checked on the other rail. Just like that. That's perfect.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, Cobra probably played pool in real life. I mean, he hits, you know, most of the shots the right way. You don't see him make a lot of mistakes at how he goes about hitting balls. I mean, there's been a couple times where I thought didn't make the right play, but, you know, those haven't been too many.
See that little shot there with the draw and the spin, just to curb the cue ball, but, you know, get the pace for it to run, but control the pace. I mean, he's bolted straight in the 5, but it shouldn't really be a problem. I mean, he can actually pinch this in and go forward or back, whatever he wants to do, I think.
Yeah, I like forward a little right English.
Yeah.
Just like that. See, I think that's way easier shot to control and not get, you know, bent out of shape and start drawing.
Yeah, I would always go forward with that. I would never risk drawing it. I'd chicken out. Well, the 8 ball is tight. There's plenty of room. As long as you ignore the 9 ball, that's the problem with shots like these. Just when you're offline. But the significant thing now is the match is there for Cobra. It's his to lose now. $17-14 with the break. Well, if you're ever going to come good, it's always good to come good at the right time. And he's been solid in these last few racks. At the break.
Mal's got an opportunity, and this is probably one he's going to have to play safe on. I think he'll execute this safety. It's not very difficult. Wow, he shot the ball. That I wouldn't have done.
Yeah,
he had a pretty easy safety there. He got lucky.
I don't know whether Mal's ran out of ideas or whether he's feeling he wasn't getting a lucky break there with the table that was left him from the break. But again, he could have had, well, okay, he's got lucky in the sense that he's got Cobra in trouble, but he certainly didn't play that to leave the one ball there.
Yeah, well, I mean, shooting that one ball, I mean, early in the match, maybe at this point, you know, you don't want to shoot that unless you know you're making it. And I think that was a decision error there. He should have played safe.
No, it's far easier
to... He could have run that cue ball behind the 9-4 very easily from where he was.
Cobra just needs to get lucky again, and he has done, but is he getting to a rail? Just, oh, well, Mal's going to pay the price.
Now, just for all the guys out here that think Mal's going to lose this match because Cobra got lucky, I hope you're listening to this real Poland power. You know, if Mal ends up losing this match, it's not because of that situation. Oh, what a great shot. It's going to be because all the mistakes he made before where he let Cobra get ahead of him, and Mal should have actually been ahead in this match. You know, one lucky shot's not going to make the difference unless you played perfect.
Well, Cobra again jumping over the edge of this 6.
Yeah, this one's a little tougher, but I think it's doable. I don't see any problems. He certainly doesn't have to worry about the cue ball leaving the table here unless he way overhits it.
Oh, is he going to get lucky? Well, he's got lucky. Well, Stubb won't be happy about that.
No.
But that's the breaks you need.
It'll be the lucky noob comment.
Oh, dear. Well, that is a painful one.
But, you know, that's what happens is you got to look at the whole match in totality and the mistakes that have been made. And you know, you don't want to put the other guy in a position where he can get lucky and win. Oh, he almost missed that ball.
Well, I think he was checking that up a fair bit there, just to hold for the 3. Took a wee bit of a liberty, got away with it.
Yeah, you know, this isn't guaranteed here. Let's see how he decides to play this. I mean, he's only got a partial pocket if he goes where the 6 is, although it's a big one.
Let's see what the pace is like. Well,
yeah, he's over-rolling it.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a pretty bad mistake. If anything, I would have tried to come up short on that. I mean, unless you come up way short, you can still get the cue ball by the 7. Yeah, that was a bad time to roll on the wrong side of it. I think he's still got the shot here, though.
Yeah, he's going all out for it. Oh, what a shot.
Yeah.
The only problem is the kiss in the 5.
And just in case you're thinking that's unlucky, Stubb, it's you know, he put himself in that position where he had to run into the 5. If he would have got on the 4 on the proper side of it, he wouldn't have had to do that.
Well, I'm at a loss as to what I would do here with this shot. He's gone all out for the bank. Yeah. He needs it to run.
Gonna get a roll again.
He needs it to run right on the middle diamond, and that'll be banked as well. Mal will be going for that.
Yeah, I think the way this is sitting, that's not a bad thing to do.
He's missed it as well. He's missed it big time. Oh dear.
Oh, and he scratched.
Well, that is it. That is it. Cobra.
Everything's going against him right now.
Cobra's on the hill. I'm not going to put the commentator's curse on it. He's got to be on the hill.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty simple. Well, you know, I mean, this rack, everything's gone against Mal, but in general, I think the rolls in this have been fairly equal. I mean, maybe Cobra's got a little of the best of it,
Well,
but
Cobra's got lucky at the right time. That's the difference. Right at the business end, he's got lucky. Well, there's a question you might not want to answer or answer, Steve. Are you having any big version release coming up? Well,
like I said earlier, we're working on physics and we're working on leagues.
And there's no such thing as VP5. You can put.
I don't know if it's going to turn into VP5 release. It's probably going to be more just VP4 online.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any physics changes will go back into the offline because it has to. But the leagues are only going to be online.
It needs to miss the point, and he's okay. Well, Cobra, barring a mistake here, he's going to be one away. Now, of course, It's not all over for Mal. He's going over and going to cause damage in that one loss side if he ends up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mal can still win this in the loser bracket. I mean, that's no doubt about that he's got the game to do that.
Well, he's going to, if it's going to happen, he's going to have Stubb for company tomorrow night. Once Stubb joins him, along with Albinario.
Yeah, this might encourage Mal to work on his safety game because, that's been what's lacking here is safety and kicking, and I think there's room for improvement, and if he gets serious and works on that, because the rest of his game is really fantastic.
I mean, dare we write off Mal in this match yet? He's at the table. He's going to run out. He's going to have the break.
Until it's over.
Yep.
I mean, there's a couple nails in the coffin, but it's not completely sealed shut and put in the ground.
Well, Mal may well have annoyed himself enough to actually fire up, as Stubb says. That's what we're waiting to see.
Yeah, the problem at this point is Mal needs things to go his way. He needs the break to work, and, he may need a little luck. Maybe needs Cobra to give him something. I mean, it's...
Well, he's up. He's basically up a certain stream minus a paddle at the moment.
He's got to win 4-1. That's not easy.
Oh, 7 balls wiped its feet is gone.
Yeah, as long as he keeps breaking and making balls and getting a shot, he's in pretty good shape.
Well, that's the beauty about pure 9-ball like this, where golden breaks on, winner breaks, everything. Then you get the excitement of what can happen. Yeah, that was a toughie.
Yeah, but it was the kind of shot that if you missed it, you had a good chance of coming out like this.
Now, I don't know whether there's enough room to actually spin into the side rail and kick this one full in the face and hopefully nudge it somewhere and leave the cue ball there.
Well, you want to try to put the other way. Three. You want to try to hit this thing so that you hit it a little bit on the right side of full coming off the end rail and kick the one out, and then the cue ball just comes off the side rail and goes right behind that 3 ball and locks on it. That's a shot to play here.
Yeah, because the other way, the 6 ball's in the way trying to kick the one. Well, he's looking at the other way. He's thinking about that. He's trying to get in there and punch it full in the face. Has he got enough room, though? Oh, he maybe tried to cut it. Well, everything's went wrong.
That was the worst of all things.
Yeah, everything's went wrong.
If he was going to go that way, he wanted to hit it hard and get the cue ball to stop. I mean, I wouldn't have played it that way, but if you were going to play it that way, you'd want to hit it with speed so that the cue ball stops and try to get the 1 ball out of there.
See, it's amazing how you see shots differently with that situation here. The kick from the end rail was the best chance of locking the cue ball or getting it close on that 3. I think it was a bit tight to try and get right in behind that to play the kick from the side rail.
Yeah, I mean it's it's you know, that was a pretty bad mistake Cobra just made there. Not as, you know, I mean, there was no guarantee he was getting safe no matter what he did because he still had to execute it, but he definitely played the wrong shot.
Well, as you said, you know, Mal needs some assistance from Cobra. He's got it there.
Yeah, so now when you go back and look at this video, you know, I mean, you're not the only one making some bad choices or bad kicks, because Cobra just did it, and that could end up costing him the match.
So Mal back to within 2. And, well, his fate is going to be sealed.
Got a ball on the break.
And
he's got a shot.
Yep. Oh,
it's pretty natural shape on that 2-ball.
Now is he going to fit between the gap? He's actually not really sort of went through with that 100% because he's left the cue ball short, and he's got lucky. Would you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, this ball can be jumped, and he's gonna try it.
Well, Cobra seems to be pretty good at judging these close jumps like this, and keeping the cue ball on the table. This is a good test of his control.
Yeah, in real life, I'd probably jump this ball. I mean, I can reach a ball out in the center of the table. Most people can't.
Good one. Oh, look at the cue ball. Well, it's all in Cobra's hands now to seal the deal.
Yeah, well, that shot Mal missed wasn't a guaranteed sort of shot. I mean, it definitely had to be hit in the right spot in the pocket at the speed he was going to have to hit it. And, you know, I think what did he do? Hit a little wide, and is that what I think that's what he did, is hit a little wide, which is a common way of missing that.
Yeah, but again, I think he just didn't really go. I mean, it was a tight angle, but he didn't go through far enough to get the cue ball good in the 2. He left it awkward in the middle of the table, even if he had got the 1.
Yeah, it was the kind of try not to hit it too hard and make sure you make the 1, and then hit the 1 in the wrong spot. It was
not easy. Well, this is the one that's going to be. This is going to decide it if he can, you know, just get himself good on the 5. Plenty of room to manoeuvre.
Yeah, I think he'll hit this with inside, and you got your choice of just ball speed. I'd probably go to the other rail.
Oh dear. Well, what's happened there? Again, all that room to run the cue ball, and he hasn't got the 4 to the hole.
You just put that inside on that.
Oh goodness me. Goodness me. What the hell has happened there? I don't know what happened with Mal there. I mean, I never get round quick enough to see how much room he had. I think that was the problem. I think it was a tight space to get that cue ball to hit the object ball, and then not enough room to manoeuvre, and it just drew it into the pocket.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get to the side rail there, and it didn't. That was real tight, you know, especially with pockets this size. These pockets aren't super huge, so trying to play that shot and getting to the end rail was kind of tricky.
Well, this time he's been more committed, and this time he's got it nailed. So my prediction was wrong. I'm 1 rack out.
Yep. Well, it was a good match. I mean, it was well played on both sides. Just a few more mistakes by Mal.
Well, so Cobra wins the Battle of the UK by 19 racks to 16. So Cobra is first into the hot seat match, and he's waiting on the winner of Spectre Dawn and Stubb, who are tomorrow night at that'll be 8 PM British Summer Time, 3 PM Eastern Standard Time, noon Pacific. If you guys want to join us, I'll be there.
I'm gonna try to come in and sit with you on this one too, Hugh, because I think this is going to be a great match. I mean,
No,
they're both very strong players.
yeah, your seat will still be warm in the commentary box for you, Steve. You're more than welcome, and thank you for your contribution tonight.
Yeah, it's been great being here. Thanks for having me, Hugh. And I'm hoping this lights a fire under Mal's butt where he goes and works on a few things. Because, you know, Cobra, too. I mean, he made some mistakes that, you know, I don't know. I know Mal, at least the last time I commentated one, he went back and watched the match. And I'm hoping he does again because he definitely can get better. I mean, that's, you know, the guy that guys that have a lot of respect for the guys that work on their games. Mal has very hard, a lot more with a computer opponent, which isn't quite the same. And I know Semi-Pro has, you know, the guys that work really hard on their games, that's why they're good. And I'd like to see Mal improve.
Yeah, well, he's got time to do that. But I mean, there's not a bad match now left in the tournament. They're all going to be good. So the big
Oh
one's
yeah, we're
tomorrow.
down to the cream of the crop here. And one thing about these long races is you're not going to be sneaking by. You know, it's going to be the best players coming down to the end in this.
Yep, most certainly. Well, if you're there tomorrow night, Steve, it'll be what, 5 minutes before the kick-off. I'll be there.
Yep, that's what I'm planning on. I'm planning on being there. Hopefully nothing comes up, but you know, I was just going to be in the office working, so I should be able to do it.
Well, I hope you guys can join as well. So Steve's hoping to get back tomorrow. I'll definitely be here. That's a guarantee. And it's been a pleasure having your company, guys, as usual. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you can join us tomorrow night. And until then, I'm going for a coffee and watch the end of this match because it looks as if Selby's about to seal the deal in this as well.
All right. Thanks, guys. I enjoyed being here.
Right, Steve, take care. Bid you good night or good afternoon. Thanks for your company.
Right, bye.
Goodbye. Oh, I just thought of something. I forgot to check the... Yeah, I forgot to check the bloody stats. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. I don't really know how that actually went as far as how the stats, whether that's going to make a big impact. Let's have a look. It didn't really feel like it. Let's see, where are we? That's the one. No, Albinario's... Cobra's narrowed it right down to 1. Cobra's on 33. Stubbs on 27. Mal's up to 25. Let's have a look at the common stats and the shot percentage, because Albinario has climbed up and he's now at the top, although he's now played... no, he hasn't, has he? How many racks has Cobra got? Cobra's got more racks than Mal than Albinario, because Albinario's in the one loss side playing races to 13. But Albinario, his performance in the last few matches has brought his shot percentage up to the top of the leaderboard only by a fraction, you know, point something of a percent. But he's well in there. Stubbs in third. Mal's actually dropped. He's actually dropped a couple of points, so he has. That's maybe quite significant. And now, what about the? Let's have a look at the break stats. I think, did we have one golden break in that one? I think. Break money balls. Hairpigs at the top. Cobra's there in 5. Yeah, I think we'd won in that match. Runouts from the break. Albinario still well in front there, 31. And if you look at the average balls in the break, now that stat there is quite significant, because Albinario the other night there was getting balls in the break left, right and centre, and that's what shot him up to an average over 1 per game now, and that's, you know, if you look at that, he's way ahead of most players. Hairpig's in there at 0.94, but if you look at the other contenders, they're all well short of where Albinari's got himself to, and I think that's pretty much it. So in line for the racks run, the most racks run, it's going to be a race between Cobra, Albinario, Stubb, and Mal maybe as an outside bet. Spectre Don's got far too much to do by the look of it. So well done, Cobra. I mean, I'll tell you where it turned if you don't remember yourself, and I think all the guys will agree. That rack where Mal was putting you onto 2 fouls or trying to put you in 2 fouls, that's where the match turned. Because I said at the time in the commentary that if Cobra can kick this 2-rail kick, if he can kick it and get lucky and get out of it, and even though Mal still had a pot, you still get back in, and from there, that's where the match turned, right on that rack. You did well in the end. It was tight. Mal had that break. He could have broken run and won the match. I mean, it could have honestly went either way, but it was still a tight. I mean, I predicted 1917 to you. I've got witnesses to that. So it was one rack out. But Mal's not dead and buried yet. He's going to go away. Is Mal there? Don't know whether Mal will watch and listen to what Steve was saying, but you know, you certainly kicked and get the best results in that match, and that's the difference it can make. Just a wee bit of luck here and there. Mind you ran lucky once or twice late on as well, and that helps. That just gives you that edge one way or another. No, Mal's had a bad match tonight as far as he's concerned, because his stats will prove that anyway. But if you're going to have a bad match, might as well have it now. And you still got plenty of time on that one loss side. So, meanwhile, a quick reminder to anybody that's still there who hasn't got bored and gone to bed. Back at the bracket here, as I mentioned earlier on, and for anybody who's turned up late and doesn't know, Mr. Bill is out of town. Bill has had a family bereavement. His father passed away, it'll be last night my time or early in the morning today, Bill's time. So Bill's been out of town, and he's obviously got matters to deal with in those circumstances. His match deadline is May the 5th, I think it is, which is the Wednesday. You know, Bill may not get back before then, but if he doesn't, I would suggest it be Bill's choice as to whether he wants to go ahead with the match, and whether that can be extended, because the other round doesn't expire until the 9th, so I'm pretty certain if Bill wants to play it, he can play it when he gets back. That's the top half of the draw, because if we look here, the winner of this match, or whoever gets advanced, whatever happens, will play Mal on that one loss side, so that's bad news for them. Meanwhile, we've got the match with Hairpig and Albinario is set for the Wednesday night, and the last match that we have this week at the moment is going to be tomorrow night, and that will be at 8 o'clock between Spectre Dawn and Stubb. So I hope you can join us, guys. Selby on a break of 70 at the moment, leading 16-13. Well, he's going to be home and dry in this frame and one away from victory. I'm going to have a coffee and whatever and settle down and hopefully see the end of the match. So a final goodbye to you guys. Thanks for watching. Well done to Cobra. Unlucky to Mal, but he's still got that second bite at the cherry. And I hope you can join us tomorrow night. Steve says that he wants to try and join, so his company will be welcome as well. So I'm off, and I will bid you good night, guys. Take care.